Welcome to the second XP Squad podcast. A little later than usual, but what happens? Snafus happen.
Yeah.
That's life.
Should probably introduce yourselves again.
Yeah, DJ Lucas.
Yeah, and I'm DJ Lucas.
That's right, both of us.
Yeah. So welcome back. We're going to talk about some things today.
We're going to talk about a lot of things. First thing up, a campaign that we've been fighting for a long time. A long time.
Yeah.
It's coming true.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the form that we wanted.
I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
Donald Glover for Spider-Man.
I was thinking spaghetti is a national food.
Well,
yeah. That's cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, Donald for Spider-Man is an
Yep.
actual thing now in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, right.
They are making him the voice of Miles Morales, which I am pumped about.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
It's gonna be the only thing I found a little strange about it. I saw the clip online, right?
Yeah.
It's a little strange. Yeah, the clip online. It was a little strange hearing Donald Glover's voice come out of like a 13-year-old. That was a little strange to me.
I still have to watch the clip. I've seen like gifs of it, but
yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, like apparently he's only gonna be appearing in one episode at first, but then they're gonna be running the story arc where like it's kind of the multiverse Spider-Mans come in. All the Spider-Mans kind of come together. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man 2099 is gonna be coming in, and then like they're in Ultimate Spider-Man right there. And then maybe Amazing, I'm not sure, but
that'd be cool.
They're getting a few other Spider-Mans to come in, and Miles Morales is one of them. So
yeah, I want Spider-Ham.
Yeah,
that's my pick.
Yeah,
or Spider-Pig, I forget which one.
I want Spider-Stan.
Spiders.
That's where it's Stan Lee, Spider-Man.
Ooh. That was a DLC for the first Amazing Spider-Man game.
Oh, was it?
Where you could like play as like Stan Lee swinging around New York.
Did you say like Excelsior?
Yeah.
They were swinging around? Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
It was so cool. I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, I'd play that.
Oh my goodness. But
it's cool because Donald Glover is a big advocate for a African-American Spider-Man for a long time.
Yeah.
Because it would make sense, you know?
And it's so funny that it's like full circle.
Yeah.
Because like, what was it, back in 2010, 2008, they were talking about making the first Amazing Spider-Man. Like, wasn't even production yet.
Right.
They were talking about hashtag Down for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which that whole campaign led to like kind of the inception of Miles Morales. Like, why don't we have a black Spider-Man?
Yeah, right.
And then we have one. And now he's voicing him in a cartoon.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's like real. What's up with that?
I'd like to see them make like a whole series about that, like their own show.
I would too.
Miles Morales, because the comic book series is pretty interesting. I've only read a little bit of it, but I enjoy it. I enjoy Miles Morales as a character.
Yeah, I like how. I've also read a little bit of it too. I like how they don't make him Peter Parker.
Yeah. Like
he's his own person. Like he has his like different things, even has different powers than Peter Parker.
He's his own guy.
Yeah, it's been, what is it? I think he can turn invisible. I don't think he can web swing. I think that's what one of the things was.
Sure.
Or at least in the first ones that he was in.
Yeah, I know he got the agility and stuff like that. I'm not as sped up on the Miles Morales universe, but like I've read bits of it and I liked it. So, but I plan on reading more. I've been trying to focus more on getting back for the. They rebooted the Amazing Spider-Man recently. They started over and all that stuff after the Superior Spider-Man, where Dr. Octopus pretty much takes over Peter's body for a bit.
That's weird. I need to read that.
I've heard it's really interesting. I think I actually have like one or two of the comics in my room. I just haven't read them.
From what I've heard, like Doc Ock wants to like bang Aunt May or something like that.
Well, that's because they had history together. They almost got married at one point.
Well, yeah, but he's also in Peter Parker's body, which is a little strange.
Well, he gets a girlfriend too.
Oh, okay.
It's not Aunt May. It's this cute little short girl. From what I've read of it so far, they kind of try and tie up some loose ends because pretty much with the reboot of Amazing Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus decides to leave Peter's body, and Peter just kind of comes back and like it's pretty much just a blank. He doesn't remember anything that happened. He's just his consciousness has been kind of like swept to the side.
Jeez. And how long? Like in the comics, it's like about a year.
Yeah,
that's been going on. How pissed would you be if you just woke up one day? It's like the next year. I'm like, what happened?
Oh, yeah.
What happened in all that time?
And Doc Ock fucked up a lot of things in Peter's life, as Peter, too.
He goes around giving him, like, all the STIs.
From what I've read, he started some shit with the Avengers. He was a much more violent and aggressive Spider-Man.
Yeah, got things done.
He apparently put Black Cat in jail.
Oh, well, she's a criminal, so that's fine.
Well, she's like an anti-hero, but yeah, I guess that's how he saw it. Like he
just so black and white. It's like, well, you're a villain.
It just showed like in the comic, like Black Cat's like, oh hey Peter, what's up?
Yeah, they're friends.
Peter just walks up and just fucking Peter, quote,
walked
up and just slugs her right in the face and turns her in.
Right.
And they find all the stuff that she stole over the years. They return it back, but she also got like sentence for each item, like added on sentence for each item that they found that she stole.
My God.
So yeah,
what is your damage?
That messed up that relationship. I mean, I'm sure. But after I read that one, I went and picked up the first issue. I have to go pick up some more of the others. I think I got the second one, but I haven't read it yet.
Now, is Mary Jane still alive in that continuity?
Yeah, she's still around.
Oh, she's still kicking.
Yeah, they're not together.
No,
I didn't believe.
Well, you know, Peter gets around.
I'm not as well versed. I'm sure if Eddie's listening right now, he's tearing me apart.
He's just like clenching his fist. He's like, Tyler, just spitting that bullshit.
My good friend Eddie that I work with is a huge Spider-Man fan, so he's kind of one of the reasons like I know so much about it. Like some of these comics I haven't read much of, but he's kept me up to date like with it, and it's something I've been wanting to get back into.
Dude, yeah, I think the farthest I ever gotten into like reading the comics was, I told you about this before. The comic, it was like I was going to Florida or something. I was going out of state. And we were picking up a book for like the plane, or whatever. We got I got like all the Black Spider-Man stories, like in one book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and one of the stories was when Eddie Brock had like cancer and he was like withering away and dying.
Yeah.
The symbiote was like still messing with him. It was like, you think you can leave us in this life?
Yeah.
I'll follow you everywhere. You're never gonna stop this. And then like he tries to commit suicide and like jumps out a window.
Yeah.
And then it was like for one page it's just blackness, and then it's just like the symbiote. He's like, I'll never escape. I was like, that is intense. I was just trying to have a chill ride on this airplane. Now I gotta think about that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Venom stuff can get pretty messed up.
Those are always the most interesting stories too. Like he was one of my favorite villains.
He's definitely one of the most interesting villains, like in comic history.
Just because he is like not his Joker, but like his opposite Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like he's bigger. He's not like not athletic, agile. Like he can't like move as fast as Spider-Man can.
Right.
He can move fast, but not as fast.
His power is just cool in general too. He's an alien symbiote.
Yeah.
The story behind that's cool.
It comes from space on like a rocket ship.
Yeah, or I think it's something. If I remember reading it in a book. Like it was something like there was a comic series where it was all the Marvel heroes versus all the Marvel villains or something on this other planet.
Yeah.
And then when they were on that planet, like Spider-Man's suit got like messed up or something, and then there was a machine that offered to make him a new one. Yeah. And so it made him the suit, and it turned out to be the Black Suit Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, there's several different stories.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different arcs for it, I guess, but I might be wrong, but I might be right. I just remember acquiring for Christmas one year. My mom apparently worked with a guy who was a huge comic collector. Just gave us boxes and boxes of comic books for me and my brother to split.
Jeez, what a nice man.
Yeah, it was cool, and my mom got us like one of those spinning comic book racks. So I wish I could have taken it up here. I think I still have it.
Yeah, should get that.
Yeah, I should bring it up here, maybe. But I had a bunch of Spider-Man. I kept most of the Spider-Man. I let my brother have some.
Mm-hmm.
I kept most of the Spider-Man. I kept some Hulks, Punishers, a little bit of X-Men, Thunderbolts, and I remember I got some like Red Sonja and like Terminator. I got some like Terminator meets Painkiller Jane, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Just that sounds like a power couple right there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a girl Terminator that fights Painkiller Jane.
Oh yeah, like one of the third one?
It wasn't. It was a different one. Like it was a different model.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I got a bunch of Spider-Man books. I haven't read them in a while, but ever since then I've been wanting to add on to the collection. They had a comic book store in my hometown, but they broke it. They closed it down. Didn't get that much business.
No.
And I remember even like going to that comic book store before it closed, and before Walking Dead came on, there was a still running comic series. I grabbed like an individual comic, a couple years before the show started. So I have like a individual comic book, not one of like the big books with all the volumes or whatever, but like an individual one. And I checked online; it's worth about $40 right now. So that's kind of cool.
Not bad. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember reading that and liking it, and then being like, "Hey, they're making a show out of that."
Yeah. That sucks. That with all those like not dying places of gathering, but like less needed. Not needed because comic books like that's the only place you can get comic books, at least in the physical form.
Yeah.
Because
they have digital comics.
Well, they have they have digital, but like in the
worth.
physical form, like that's the only place you can get a comic book is either the internet or a comic book store.
Yeah.
Right. So like I had a arcade in my hometown, right, for like about 2 years. This big arcade. It was like $25. You get to play all these things like for free.
Yeah.
Unlimited tries. It was dope, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like they didn't do well. And it kind of sucked because like it was a nice little shop. It had like every single game from like that Chuck E. Cheese from like the early '90s and like
cool.
early 2000s and all that. And I don't know what it is. Oh, at least for arcades, I understand because like the video games are so like accessible now to like from everywhere, like to your computer, to your phone, to your console, you know, like stuff like that. But it is like. I remember I was like on the tail end of arcades, and I'm sure you were as well.
Yeah, I used to go to arcades. They used to have one at the. They used to have a pretty famous one at the local mall in my hometown when I was a little kid, and I used to always love going in there.
Yeah.
But and even still today, like more recently, there's a chain called Garcia's Pizza. I don't know if you heard of it, but
yeah,
they make really good. So you have heard of it?
I've not heard of it, but I'm supporting that it's a thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they make damn good pizza. But there's one in my hometown. Over by the college, like the main university in my hometown.
Yeah.
And it's just a big arcade, and like you get like the little Garcia's tokens, and they got like a bunch of games in there. Even at the tables you sit at, if you don't want to go out and play the arcade games, you just sit at the table. They have like little like NESs and Super Nintendos and like Segas and stuff set up at the tables that you can play. Yeah. They have like computers where you can play like Plants vs Zombies and stuff like that. It's awesome. And really good pizza too. So.
That is so.
Me and my friends used to like going there.
I wonder in like if 20 years from now, it's like me myself. I think my limit for like enjoying games, or not enjoying games, but my preferred limit is like around like early PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like I'm a fan of like 3D block textures, which a lot of people don't seem to be a fan of, but I just love that, like a Crash, Spyro, like those kind of.
It's something we grew up on. It's like it's its own style.
Yeah, but I feel like I just missed the SNES kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where people are like, oh, 16-bit's the best. I'm like, well, it's alright.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. I'm not like a huge fan of it. I'm not gonna go out and buy a game just because it has 16-bit graphics. But I wonder why that is. Like in 20 years, are people gonna be like, kids like, oh, what is this block crap? Get this out of here.
Yeah, they're like, what is that? They're gonna have like really realistic graphics, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're gonna be like Sword Art Online.
That'd be cool too. But like, I don't know. I kind of see it like in the same way as like painting.
Yeah.
Like there's talent and there's like a place behind, like portrait painting.
Yeah.
But like I always prefer artwork with like its own like developed art style behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you get a portrait picture or drawing of someone, and if it looks a lot like it, like that's cool.
Yeah.
Or like I'd rather see like kind of a cartoonized version of someone.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that there's plenty of talent behind portrait art.
Yeah. Well, it's a thing of like I know where you're going with this because like some things age better over time.
Yeah.
Like let's see, what's a game from like 7 years ago that you can think of, like a really high res game from like 7 years ago?
I don't know. Donkey Kong 64. That's not that old.
Not. Let's say the Harry Potter games, right?
Okay, sure.
You go back to a Harry Potter game. What, like Chamber of Secrets is out in like 2007?
Yeah.
Maybe a little earlier than that.
Uh-huh.
You go back to that game. It doesn't look the best.
Yeah.
At the moment, But like a game that like TF2, that game came out in like 2007.
Yeah.
So about 7 years ago. that game still, like it says, like the same art style.
Yeah.
They haven't really changed any of the aesthetics of it. Like some things just age better in time.
Yeah, it's
because it has like the cell shaded like aesthetic, like the 1950s, like I want you for the army today. You know, that kind of era.
They got their own
things.
established art style. Like when you look at, if you look at like something that's like a crossover fan art, you know, like Sonic in one of the maps or something, and dressed up as a character, you'd be like, oh, that's Team Fortress 2, just because it's got a specific style.
Yeah, that's the really cool thing about that. I learned a fact about the whole TF2 cast. You know how they're all like varied and like different. They all look like really different.
Yeah.
The reason was for that was so you can identify each player with the silhouette of them.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't need to see like the actual like model itself. Like you have the silhouette of that character.
You can tell
it's
right
like,
away.
That's scout. That's heavy. That's demo. Like that's like a really cool,
very good point.
Game designing thing. You know. What was it? What was I just about to say? TF2. TF2. What's another game that's aged really well because it has like a certain art style to it?
I don't know. Just a lot. Well, I mean, a lot of people still like to go get Nintendo 64 games. You know.
Yeah.
Like, just because. I mean, yeah, the graphics weren't that great, but like a lot of them kind of played off of the graphic limits and made like your own style out of it, like Banjo-Kazooie or Conker's Bad Fur Day. All those Rareware games.
Yeah, they all made like solid content with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played an N64 game. Or not like I've played one, like I've held it in my hands and I've played it, but I've never sat down and played like an N64 game. It's always like in a dentist's office.
Oh,
or like somewhere else.
You never like going to the N64?
Yeah. So I'm a Sony boy, born and raised.
I remember owning one. I had like a little green, like translucent one, and I had Donkey Kong 64 and Pokemon Snap. Those were Pokemon Snap's still one of my all-time favorites, just because I played it so much as a kid.
Yeah.
And then what else? I didn't have much. I didn't have that many games. And also like the daycare I went to, they would always have like a day where they're like, all right, you guys can just go crazy with the Nintendo 64, and we would all like play Mario Party 2 or Mario Kart. We would just go back and forth between those games and play with the kids at the daycare, and it was fun.
Yeah, man, you had a nice daycare. We at the end of the day, we get there, we play with our little toys.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my daycare wasn't nice.
Right.
That sounds like, whoa, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we play with our little toys, take a little nap, and at the end of the day, we all dance to like songs. Like the teacher would go on, like I'm put on a little song now. Like those are like the first songs I ever remember hearing, and I remember them specifically because it was Weird Al's. Long time ago, like the Anakin song.
Yeah. Did they let me listen to booty, 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 rocking everywhere,
just twerking little kids?
Yeah. I found you, Mr. Booty.
Oh, man, was that out back then?
Bring us back to it? Probably not. Funny.
Yeah, but like they would let us listen to that. The Ghostbusters theme was like one of the first songs I ever remember hearing.
Good. Bustin' makes you feel good at that point.
Even back then, I was like, this is gonna make me feel good for the rest of my life. But yeah, there's just I feel there's a point to be made here, but you know what? I don't care.
We're just talking about it. Yeah,
we're just talking about it. To roll back to Spider-Man really quick. What is your favorite Spider-Man cartoon out of all the different cartoons that have been out so far?
I don't know, because the old Amazing Spider-Man from like the mid-90s was alright, and I remember watching that growing up and liking it just because of Spider-Man. Yeah. But I'm liking this Ultimate Spider-Man that we're having right now with Drake Bell voicing it.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
It's funny. It's got a cool art style, and like Drake Bell's pretty good Peter Parker, you know.
Yeah.
And there's like, and it's at that point where we're like in the Marvel and Avengers phase, where all Marvel's, we're in phase 2 of Marvel's big, elaborate scheme.
Which I want to see how that turns out.
Yeah. And so we have all these other superheroes and stuff making guest appearances in the show.
Like, was it Rocket Raccoon? Like, all the Guardians of the Galaxies were in one recently. I think so. I saw a cartoon Rocket somewhere.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing one where I think Iron Man showed up and Captain America was in one, I believe. And then Coulson, you think?
Yeah.
Coulson, he's in every episode, I think.
He was so mad. He's like, I don't like that Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's like the Professor X kind of. Him and Fury.
Which is so strange because like I'm used to Coulson being like the goofball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is he? No, I don't like you being serious.
He still is
kind
of
goofy. Jokes.
He still is kind of goofy. Like they appoint him to be the new principal. At
goodness.
Peter's school, and he has to be like act all principal-y, but like he's concerning himself. Like Nick Fury's trying to talk about some new threat, and he's like, I gotta worry about they're cutting the cafeteria fund at the school. This isn't easy, you know.
Yeah. What? He's like actually like they couldn't just make him like the figurehead principal. He's actually
the principal. Yeah.
What was it?
It's pretty good.
I like that one. People bring up all the time that. Well, he's actually in the show Deadpool, but if you were to replace Deadpool with Spider-Man, it'd be like a Deadpool show for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because like it's so like centered towards Deadpool's kind of humor, like the fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
Like that whole deal
that's how
is
this
him.
one does too. Like there'll be a lot of times, Spider-Man will like look at the camera like, here it goes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Kind of
that like, if you take out Spider-Man and put Deadpool in it, it'd be like an amazing Deadpool game.
It's true. Yeah.
Or not game show, but I really want to watch the episodes where Deadpool actually comes in and like messes with Peter. Because like I forget the GIF, but like I was watching the GIF and he's like they're in a plane for some reason. Like him and Spider-Man are in a plane, and he says like something. Oh, we're gonna get into a booby trap, and like Deadpool's like trap, yeah. And it's so perfect because it's actually a little callback. We're Unstoppable, Will Friedle voicing Deadpool.
Really?
Which is amazing, just because like
I'm surprised you know that.
Yeah. Hashtag I know stuff about
I
Impossible.
see. He's got his phone in his hand, guys.
Oh no! Don't start that.
Phone.
No.
He doesn't know any of this off the top of his
Phone's
head.
all the way over there. But yeah, that guy. I've been a fan of that guy since like Boy Meets World when he was like playing Eric. You know.
You do love Boy Meets World.
I love Boy Meets World so much, so much. But I guess if I had to pick my favorite Spider-Man show, it would probably be Spectacular Spider-Man.
Which one was that?
That one was the one before Ultimate, where it had like Peter had like a mole on his face, and it was all about his relationship with like Gwen Stacy was really important, and then Mary Jane came in later. Like it's kind of like the underrated Spider-Man show, but it was kind of the best one in my opinion.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it's like it ran from like I believe 2008 or 10 around that area to like 2012, where it got canceled. But like they did the symbiote story, which was like real. Like they followed it like exactly to the comics, like where it's like an internal like struggle.
Right.
Where like he's got the suit on, but he's like internal like struggle. It's like Uncle Ben saved me from the darkness and all that.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That does sound cool. I wonder if we can find that online anywhere. I'd like to watch that.
Yeah, I checked Netflix. I don't think it's on there, but the DVDs are around, so we'll definitely have to check those out. But yeah, have you seen the new Spider-Man DVD cover?
Yeah, because it's where I work.
Does it look shit to you?
Oh, it looks alright, I guess.
I saw it, I was like, that's not the one, and then it was the one. I was like, that looks like bad Photoshop.
It's not like as I guess dynamic and like dramatic as some of the other ones, like in the first one or the original Sam Raimi movies. It's just kind of like here's Spider-Man, here's who's in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looks off to me. I don't know, but it doesn't matter that much. Yeah. Anyway, next topic here. This is one that I've been keeping secret from you.
Lay it on me.
For about a whole day.
Hey.
Yeah?
Lay it on me.
Alright, laying it on. Have you noticed the digital... Could you put that mic back down? Just... There you go. But have you noticed the digital distribution of the turnaround from movies to digital release lately?
No.
Okay, so here's the deal. Godzilla came out, like 2 months ago? Around 2 months ago. It's already available for digital watch.
Yeah, that's true, actually. At where I work, we're doing that. If you reserve the movie, you automatically get a digital download code for it.
And I'm freaking out. It's like, this is the new thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, not only is it, like, easier, it comes out faster, it's cheaper. It's only, like, $20.
Yeah.
Which, if I remember right, movies I've seen are like range from like $20 to $40.
Yeah.
Opening day when they come out in stores. And like, what do you think that's a good thing, a bad thing?
I don't know. I'm always the kind of guy that preferred having physical copies, and I think making physical copies gives a lot of other people jobs. You know, like the people that manufacture the cases, and the people that manufacture the little like sleeves for the covers and stuff like that. People that make the discs and everything.
Yeah.
That makes more jobs, and but also just like having physical copy has benefits. It's just, to me, it just makes me feel like I actually like own it. I can put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I can go to that anytime I want. I don't have to worry about like finding it on my computer, or like if my computer crashes and I lose it or something. Even if it's on backup, like if I have it on a storage thing, like the cloud or something. If I have it,
cloud. You understand the cloud.
No understands the cloud.
Jason Segel, come on, man.
But if it was on there, you got to go through all that after you get like a new computer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When it's just like I can just put it in my Xbox and watch it. And, yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared that they're trying to edge out like what you said, like the physical copies.
Yeah.
Because like this is kind of how things go with VHS. VHS was out. It's like, oh, VHS also DVD. Mm-hmm. You can have the DVD too.
Well, that was physical copy for physical copy.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying with the new technology coming in, like it usually happens like, all right, this is the solid one right now, and we're gonna have like this little thing, and then that little thing becomes a new solid one.
Yeah.
And then so on and so on.
Yeah.
So I'm worried that this one is gonna be like, oh, we're all having digital copies, and like there's no physical things anymore.
They're just gonna stop producing DVDs.
Yeah, like DVDs, Blu-rays, like those will just all be gone and obsolete, which I'm kind of worried about.
Maybe.
Like I don't trust companies, because did you hear about the whole iTunes shenanigans like a while ago with Bruce Willis? Where Bruce Willis wanted to, in his will, he wanted to give his iTunes library to his kids, right?
Yeah.
So iTunes was saying, no, you can't do that because technically you don't own those songs. And he's like, what do you mean I don't own those songs? So the premise for iTunes, like whenever you buy a song on iTunes, you own it in like quotation marks, but you're really kind of renting it long term.
Yeah, because you can only access it like on iTunes. It's not like you're downloading it to your computer.
Yeah, which is like, it kind of sucks, really.
Yeah, really.
And with the DVD, or not even the DVDs, the digital releases, who's to say like if Legendary just goes away? It might be like a digital download where it's like on your thing, but if Legendary goes away one day, no more copies of that.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be the internet, but no more official copies of that,
Yeah, it's also like a historical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like those film reels of like movies from the 30s and 40s and stuff.
Yeah.
That's how we still have access to those. Those are just like one-time things. They got rid of them. We wouldn't have a lot of these movies. We wouldn't have like Citizen Kane and stuff like that.
Those ones that survived.
Yeah.
That drove me crazy when I was in like my first film class. They were talking, I was like, yeah, some of the first movies ever made are just gone. They burnt them. They just burnt them.
They just burnt them.
Yeah, like they just got rid of them because I didn't think of it like when movies first came out. They were like, oh, it's not important. It's just like a fad, like skateboards, you know. They're like, oh, this is kind of a cool technology, but they didn't care about it. They're just like throwing them away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Don't throw them away like that.
That's how a lot of like paint. That's how like a lot of artists and stuff were too. Like I remember learning about Van Gogh. Like nobody liked his paintings. Everybody hated his paintings. He couldn't give his paintings away.
He was the Kanye of his time.
Everybody was like, "Oh no, these paintings are so shitty," just because of
like his art style.
Yeah, because everyone I was been taking history class about it lately, but like there's just been that style where it's not like all portraiture and everything is kind of stylized and stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite accepted at the time. There was a lot of people, critics and stuff, that snobbed it. Just like, oh, it's lame. But yeah. But now like all of his artwork and stuff is like revered by everybody. Dude. Everybody loves it. Yeah.
That makes me think so hard about like who's that gonna be for this generation.
Yeah.
Like I joked with Kanye, but like
I know
he makes some good stuff. You know
who it is.
Who do you think it is?
Everybody seems to hate. Makes quality work, and everybody's gonna be sad when it's gone.
Is it Danny DeVito?
Well, no, everybody loves him.
Oh, okay, okay.
We're also gonna be sad. I'm talking about Lil B, the bass guy.
Guys, I'm fortunate to say this is the last XP Squad podcast.
Thank you, bass guy.
We're shutting down. Thanks, bass guy, because we're all done now. But No, but like think about it. Like who do you think right now is gonna be like the next like people hate on this person now because they're doing weird stuff? Like Lady Gaga. In 20 years, I think Lady Gaga is gonna be like known as like one of those people. Like she was really pushing like new fields. Like she was doing like retro stuff and like all that. Like Kanye West might be a bit of an asshole, but makes good stuff majority of the time.
Somebody who's like revolutionary.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't know. I'm sure like people, one staple for like this generation, people are gonna look back on is like the whole EDM phase that's going on.
Oh yeah.
They'll probably look back at a lot of some of the big guys and be like, I guess one in particular, Daft Punk, but everybody likes Daft Punk. Everybody loves Daft Punk. I don't know, some of those EDM guys like Bass Nectar and Danny Aoki and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They'll look back at those and be like, oh, they're influential to these artists now. I don't know, people will probably, we kind of stub it now, but like people will probably look back at it because radio pop is such a big thing now. People will probably look back at like Lady Gaga and Katy Perry and like all those and be like, oh, they were doing things.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's funny how things can go in cycles.
Yeah.
Like, where one generation will not notice the hypocrisy of its own generation.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, EDM right now is kind of like the rock music of the 60s.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like,
it's
that's
big.
not music. You're not using an orchestra. You're not, that's just chaos and jumbled
It sounds like the devil.
It sounds like the devil. Sounds like evil. Sounds like Transformers banging a modem of 1995.
Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not guilty of saying these things, but only about certain things. You know, like dubstep. I'm not a huge fan of it. Well, it depends. Some dubstep.
Some artists I can get into, but the people that are just kind of like, it seems like they're just trying to cash in on the phase and just making whatever for their songs, like not even thinking about it like structurally or musically. Just putting it out there because they know it's going to sell. Like, it seems like there's a lot of that, too.
And it just, like, with EDM, I love that genre of music, but it also feels like it can easily be manufactured. Like, with Skrillex, it's kind of, like, commonly known that he doesn't really mix in his sessions. Like, when he plays live for concerts, he just presses play and then just acts, like, turns knobs. And,
a lot of people apparently do. Apparently,
it's a big DJ thing, which kind of sucks.
Aoki does that, too. He said, like, in an interview, I think, one time, this is just what I heard, he said in an interview, like, pretty much, he just kind of he just literally just presses some knobs and stuff here and there, and then he'll put his hands up every once in a while, and everybody like, oh!
Yeah. But, like, you know what? I think I'm more upset about the lie that it is, where it's like, if you're just going to press play, fine. Your stage show is equally as entertaining.
Put on a performance.
I'm fine. Don't lie to me and act like you're doing something for like an hour. Well, I'm sitting here, I'm sweating, I can't drink, I'm dehydrated because it's hot in those raves, man. It's hot. Oh man, I was at a Tiesto concert about 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it was me, my friend, and my friend's girlfriend. And that shit was crazy, dude.
Oh, yeah?
I saw like a bunch of... It was like going into like a different form of being. Just like the stuff that you see inside of a rave.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sitting there for like 3+ hours, you know? Because like, it was like Zed, which was kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. This is like my only hipsterism.
Yeah.
This was like before he had like clarity on.
Yeah.
So I was like, who the fuck is this Zed guy? Who's this Zed or whatever?
Zed.
And then like I got to see him before anyone else like really like knew about him that well. Like at least in the pop field.
Right.
But so that's like an hour. Zed goes on for an hour and Tiesto goes on for like 2 hours. So it's like 3 hours of me just sitting in like a hot room compacted with people like herded in like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
People like nudging each other to get to see the guys, right? So it's like you get dehydrated really fast.
Yeah. True.
So by the end of the thing, I felt like I was walking through the desert for like 6 days. Just like, you know, like water.
Yeah, that's how I was when I went to go see Basement, the band I was telling you about.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorites, and they've been broken up for a little while, but they just came back for a reunion tour, and I was lucky enough to go see them in Chicago. But I didn't have anything to drink the whole show, and I watched. There was 4 bands there. We got there at the end of the first band, and I watched whole 3 other bands play for the whole show. I didn't have a drink the whole show.
That sounds like insane. I was worried I was gonna pass out, and I'm sure you was like, this could be it.
I was just like, I had like cotton mouth, like literally,
that's the worst.
like, and when you like try and like spit,
yeah,
like I couldn't make any spit to swallow, so I'm just going like, Yeah.
But let's see.
Luckily, we went to Burger King, had some chicken fries and some Coke, and it was all good.
Celebrated.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day.
Let's see. So I have a few things that I've been enjoying over the past week.
Yeah, like musically.
Not musically, like TV show.
Okay. Yeah.
TV show. I've been really. Let me turn that off. Look, that's my phone, by the way, if you can hear that. But I've been really into Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Like, so into it that I finished the entire series on Netflix within, like, the span of a weekend.
Nice.
Like, last weekend, that's all I would watch is Sword Art Online.
Cool.
It is so good.
Is it? Yeah.
It's really good.
It always looked kind of cool. Like, I don't know. I don't get into too much anime just because some of it's not my particular style, but that looked like one I could get an interest to. Like I told you before, I like a lot of the anime that has, like, kind of... Like, as far as the action-y ones like that, like stuff like, for example, Soul Eater and, like, One Piece and stuff like that, I can only get in a few of those, like, action-y kind of ones, just because it seems like that's what it mostly is just kind of, like, the action and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, has some cheesy dialogue and stuff here and there. But, I don't know, I kind of like the ones that are, like, based in, like, real life and, like, based off of kind of real characters and stuff like that. You know, more of the dramatic or, like, romantic ones.
Oh, yeah. That's funny about the show because, like, when it starts off, the premise is that you get in this kid goes into a virtual reality game, like similar to like a World of Warcraft, right? MMO like that, right?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
it kind of makes me think of like World of Warcraft.
But it's more like was it the Oculus, where it looks actually very similar to the Oculus.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about this. When the Oculus got produced, like what 2010, 2012?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Unless like they saw this like immediately like in their beta. Like the one in the anime that he puts on looks very similar to an Oculus Rift, and I was thinking like, did they predict the Oculus Rift like right before it came out, possibly, or it might be vice versa or something like that, you know?
Well, I'm sure it's been in like talks for a long time.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure people, especially like the avid gamers, have been keeping their eyes on that stuff. For the longest time.
I remember when I was a kid, I had like a really like shitty looking. Not shitty looking, but like it was like a form, like you put it on your head, you look around, that thing, right?
I had one of those. It looked like a stealth fighter.
Yeah.
But you just like held it up and it had the buttons up here, and you'd like look around and be like, "Oh, shoot the stealth fighters!" And stuff. It was cool.
But back to the anime. What it's funny about it, like it starts off as like a really like, oh man, we're in this virtual reality world. What are we gonna do? Yeah. Because like if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Oh snap!
That's the thing in the game, right?
Like Stay Alive with Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, just like Frankie Muniz would. I wish he was in this.
He'd be proud.
But so like it starts off as like, oh man, we're fighting these demons and da da da. And it's kind of cool because like every episode, at least for the first 6. Kind of like was a different genre. Like there's one episode where he's like solving a mystery. There's one episode where he's like in the ice mountains on this adventure with this girl. Like it was very reminiscent of like a World of Warcraft where you're like, oh, each thing is different. Each quest is different and varied and stuff like that, you know? Yeah. But like it evolves into like from action to like detective into like in the later half of the season is like straight up like romance, like focusing on the relationship between these two characters. Yeah. And it's like the most heartfelt like anime in that regard that I've ever seen in my life. Like I felt like hurt. I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Because like if you see the stuff that happens like later in the season, season 1, you like feel like physically ill.
I think that's something I like. I think it's kind of the roots of it. I like shows that actually have like well developed characters like interacting with each other.
Yeah. This will be your kind of thing then if you like that.
I guess that's kind of one reason I like one of the shows I like that kind of just does like action and romancy kind of thing is Dead Man Wonderland. It's a
I need to finish that.
Yeah, that's a cool one. It's got like action and the characters are pretty memorable.
Yeah.
So.
What is another thing? Oh, one more thing about Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
It's funny how the season is set up because like there's a season on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
But season 1, at least in my book, I'm considering it 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because like halfway through this arc with the main character kind of ends.
Yeah.
Or not ends, but like closes this like the book on that one. And like in the next episode, it's like it feels like if you put like Digimon season 1 and Digimon season 2 together.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Huh. It's really interesting. I would definitely recommend it for anyone interested.
Start watching it.
Yeah, it's really good.
And we could watch that, and we also gotta get back and rewatching Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
For like the third time.
Yeah.
Especially with them winning all the Emmys and stuff.
Yeah,
man.
they just cleaned up at the Emmys
That was
this
sweet.
year.
I was really happy about that.
You want to talk about that for a second? The Emmys?
Yeah, sure. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
the Emmys. I don't know. It felt kind of not weak, but like mediocre to me this year. At least when the show, like the performance parts came on.
Right.
Like there was like a few highlights. Like Weird Al was good. Who else?
Key and Peele, and they were kind of funny.
They were funny.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to remember like who. Like that's what I'm talking about.
It's not memorable.
It wasn't particularly memorable. Like what happened. Like I know there was like a whole fiasco with the Sofia Vergara thing.
I think maybe they put it in. They put it all into the promo for it, where they had Bryan Cranston and Paul.
If they split that up like over the course of the night, I would have been so happy.
Yeah, just did like
good,
a bunch of different parts of it.
Yeah,
that'd have been cool. Oh God, that was funny.
That was so funny. But it's a bitch.
That is like, because I was like, oh no, they're not. They're totally not going for the whole meth thing, are they? That's just too obvious. And then they're like, we're running a puppy washing station, and we're not licensed. Pulls out a puppy, and she's like, oh, that's such a cute puppy. Is that a boy or a girl? And he's like, Aaron Paul's like, oh, it's a bitch.
It's like they did it. I was waiting. I was like, when is it coming?
I gotta hear it.
Oh man, his agent's like, all right, look, I can make you millions. But all you have to do is say bitch in every movie you're in.
Everything you're in, that's like your thing now.
It's like his curse that he started.
Does he say bitch in Need for Speed? I haven't seen it.
I'm sure he does. It's been a while since I've seen it. That was a weird movie.
Was it weird?
That was so strange. Like, there's a point where, like Kid Cudi's in the movie, right?
Yeah.
It's like Aaron Paul, Kid Cudi, and, like, a few other dudes.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi just, like, goes to jail.
Oh.
Like, that's the end of his story. Like, he ends up in jail.
Was he, like, a major character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, in the whole story, they're like, oh, whatever. They called him, like, some nicknames, like Rookie or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't no rookie. That's what I, like, that was his whole thing, was proving that he wasn't, like, the nickname that they called him.
I went to jail, I'm not a rookie.
Yeah, like, the whole thing, like, he performs, like, he's the aviator of the game.
I'm not Jaylee.
I'm
not Jay. You're not Jaylee.
Not nerd.
I'm not a nerd. I went to jail.
Yeah, like, the whole thing is, like, his thing is, like, he's the aviator of the group, right?
Yeah.
And, like, he steals a U.S. Army helicopter, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's like, yeah, you're stealing this and you're gonna go to jail. That's what happens.
That's the plan. He's
you
like, got it.
Yeah, and you don't see him. For, like, the last words, he's like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go away for a little while. Signing off.
Oh, shit.
And he's just in jail for the rest of the movie.
Jail.
They don't break him out. He's like, you're gonna do your time for the crime that you committed. Need for Speed.
That's kind of fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, right? Like,
yeah.
They don't break him out of jail. Well, that was strange. It was kind of cool in the sense that they use a lot of practical effects for the cars.
Yeah.
Like in the, what was it, Fast and Furious, they use like a lot of digital CGI kind of stuff.
I don't watch those movies. So.
They're entertaining for what they are. They're popcorn movies.
I watched after Tokyo Drift. I don't know. I couldn't get into them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But like they got their thing going on. But like they use a lot of CGI in their movies. And the Need for Speed prided itself in like, oh, I'm but mostly using practical effects. Like when a car crashed, it crashed.
Right.
And to my knowledge, there's a scene where Kid Cudi picks up Aaron Paul in a car and carries him over like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, that they actually flew a car over the Grand Canyon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. I liked it. It was a good movie overall.
Yeah.
It was a definite 7 on a 10 scale. You know.
Oh cool.
It was like another good movie like that is what is it called? Premium Rush. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, that's the one about the bike carrier, right?
Yeah, that is such a fun movie.
I haven't seen it, but like
it's so fun. It's like you go on this adventure. Like there's a cop character that is like the comic relief throughout the whole movie. And I saw it in theaters, and like every time the guy was on screen, like something messed up. He's like, "Oh, darn it!" The whole screen was like, "Oh!" It was like so much. It's just a fun movie.
It's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. If you get one thing away from this, a lot of fun.
Fun.
But let's see what else is going on right now. Community is coming back.
Yeah, that's what
this fall.
I read something about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Community season 6. Did you hear about who's going to be directing the opening sequence?
Apparently, it's the guy that directed Winter Soldier, right?
Yep.
Captain America.
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Somebody directing the opening sequence?
Yeah, like you know how they do like the intros for every season. It's oh, I guess we're back.
Yeah.
Who knew?
So,
you know?
do you think they're gonna play off the thing where like
they got to when he was in the movie? Danny Pudi?
Oh, yeah, maybe. But I was talking about how they ended it, and Abed was like, if we get canceled, it's because of the meteor. Yeah. Maybe that's how they're going to start off, like, post-apocalyptic, and then, like, turns out it's just, like, a dream or something like that.
Yeah, I remember I brought that up. I was like, you know what? They better. Yeah. I was so, like, it's got to be either they're going to go off of, like, Abed, like, doesn't know what to do with himself, so he went to go join S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Or it's post-apocalyptic, and that's how they bring back Donald Glover's
like the meteor
character.
Came, yeah.
It's like, we gotta find him.
Yeah, we gotta find him.
Because, like, apparently he's open to the idea. Donald Glover returning back for his,
I would hope so, yeah.
Troy, yeah. Which I would love. He was, like, one of my favorite characters on the show.
Me too.
Biases aside from, like, liking his music and all that.
Yeah. Well, it's because of him on the show. Well, I don't know. I think I got introduced around the same time, because I remember, like, watching Community for the first time because my English teacher showed it to us. Yeah. And he likes all those good TV shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. And around the same time, I was getting really into, like, Odd Future, like, Tyler, the Creator and stuff. I was exploring more, like, rap and hip-hop artists. And I heard about, I was like, oh, who's this guy, Childish Gambino? And then I went out and bought Camp. I, like, heard one of the... Or no, I heard Bonfire first, and I'm like, oh, wait, that's the guy from Community. Yeah. Holy shit. And then it's like, oh, they're the same guy. And then I went out and bought Camp, and I love that album. And then... Because the internet came out a little recently. I love that album
Great
too.
Album.
Yeah.
And a new one just announced. Stone Mountain is a new EP that's coming out.
Let's do it.
I like the cover for that. But
with the circles?
Yeah, like, it looks nice.
It's very like minimalist. I'm a big fan of like minimalist art style. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard of Childish Gambino. It was like a wave where I thought Google was lying to me. It's like I saw like the promo for Childish Gambino like on Adult Swim. Like that's how I got introduced to it. Where they were promoting Camp with the bonfire, like the Childish Gambino da 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 da. Like they had like a quick like little thing together, and I was like, this looks dope. I want to check this out.
I don't remember that.
And then I remember I saw like Community in passing, so I saw him on the show, right?
Yeah.
And I typed in, I was looking up Camp Childish Gambino, and image search came up. And I was like, no, not the guy from Community, Google. Childish Gambino. not this fool. And I was like, oh my god. It's the same person.
Spaghetti. Spumoni. The same guy. Oh my god.
But yeah, that was quite entertaining. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that new EP.
I remember Bubba, like, it was around the time Community first came on. But Bubba, he watches a lot of TV. Like, he always catches all the new shows on, like, NBC and ABC and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, but he would always recommend some of the shows to me, and a lot of the shows, like, weren't my style.
Yeah.
So I was, like, eventually, I was just like, okay, Bub. No, he watches all the new stuff.
Oh, okay. I think it's like these old shows.
No, he watches all the new shows, man.
Mm-hmm.
But, I remember him trying to sit me down and watch Community. He's like, hey, we should sit down. You should check out the Community, bud. Bub got it, I've been reading that. It's pretty funny in the papers, and I'm like, yeah, okay, Bub, okay. But I just remember really like,
shut your trap, all right.
I was like, I don't really want to watch it because like some of the past shows last shows I couldn't get into.
Like so wacky. He's like, oh, I guess we're gonna be late for prom again.
I don't know. He watches Spanish. Like for example, he's been really into Grimm. And some of the shows he has gotten me into, like we used to watch Fringe together. That was a cool show.
Yeah.
And I wish he tried to get me into Lost at one point too, but I didn't think that was going to be my style because I was still like really into cartoons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I like Lost now. I got to finish it. But I like it. And needless to say, I like Community now. Like I watched it. I just remember thinking like, oh, Bubba tried to show this to me. Bubba's my grandpa, by the way. That's what I call him.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should clear that up.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, Bubba, I was a fool.
You have like a Peter Parker Uncle Ben moment.
Yeah, like
he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, Uncle Ben. And then it came out, and then he was shot.
Jesus.
And I was on the ground, and I was crying because he was dying in my arms.
Then you did like the Andrew Garfield cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over chocolate milk. He died over chocolate milk in that movie.
Chocolate.
He's like, oh, a gun. Then he's like, let me go get that real quick. And he's like, the robber's like, nah. Then he shoots him. And he's dead. Pew!
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, well, he'll be there soon. That's a horrible thing. I don't mean that. Let's see. Alright, so I think this comes to a nice little thing to... Have you heard about the story of Steve Carell and the Acme movie?
No, what's this?
They're making like a from Acme, from like the Looney Tunes cartoons.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna make like a live action CGI thing. Where, like Steve Carell is like a worker at Acme, so he's like in this factory of like all these weird, like out there products. And it's gonna be like some weird. I think it could be good.
You mean like what they sent, like what they would always send to like the coyote and stuff?
Yeah, like it always said Acme is like these weird like.
Yeah.
Why is one company making all these weird?
I thought they
products?
I thought they were talking about like another Looney Tunes back in action kind of thing, and I was like, oh no.
No. Well, it's gonna be in the same style, except like it's not gonna be hand drawn thing. It's gonna be like live action and CGI. But I think it's a cool premise, like just Steve Carell, like the one worker in this factory, where he's like, you gotta send out these bombs, like this coyote down in.
They better make an office
Arizona.
reference. That's all I'm gonna say. You know?
Like back in the office.
And then they're just like, we're transferring you to Scranton to be the like. All right, you fucked up everything in this factory. We're You know what you're in charge of now? You're in charge of paper. That's what you're doing. I don't know how you can fuck up paper. I guess we'll find out. But go ahead. This place called Dunder Mifflin in Scranton, PA.
It's never gonna make anything. It's gonna be garbage.
Yeah, I'll watch. I like Steve Carell.
Yeah, I think it could be good.
Sure.
It's an interesting premise for a movie.
Sure.
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, as
coming
well
out.
As theaters. They're because this year's the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters. They're putting it out in some select theaters. They're putting them out in, I believe, 2 theaters around us.
Yeah.
And AMC mostly, I think. But yeah, the AMC right by where I work is going to be showing it for like the rest of this week, and I'm going to see it tomorrow because I'm excited. Because I'm a big Ghostbusters fan.
Better wear that
Of course.
costume.
Of course, I got my Ghostbusters costume and put up a picture.
Yeah, put up, bam, right
Boom.
there.
Plus, it makes me feel good.
Yeah,
in
all
this
the
picture.
But yeah, that's gonna be great. I'm gonna try to catch it in my hometown because
Yeah.
I'm going home for the weekend. Because like right now, it's gonna go up on the podcast. Is gonna go up on Labor Day weekend.
Oh yeah,
Which
cool.
is gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm home at the moment when you're listening to this. So I'm gonna try to catch it in the AMC in my hometown.
Right.
See if they're showing it there.
I'm gonna catch it without you. So
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Yeah, life.
DJ never wants to do anything with
True. Tyler's trash. Hashtag Tyler's trash.
me.
That's not
At
true.
least I know stuff. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. No. What were you gonna say? What the fuck were you just about to say?
I was gonna say, DJ is my good pal.
Yeah. Whatever. Hashtag. You know what it is. Dwayne. Episode was it? Season 4, episode 22. Dwayne knows what's up.
He's like,
I laughed so hard on that. I just want him to know that.
yeah, thanks, Dwayne. He's like, DJ reminds me of me, and how I don't know shit about Kim Possible.
Because I remember we were looking through it, and I was like, "Oh, look, a comment! 3 comments on the new Crash video."
Jackpot.
And then I was like, "What is it gonna be?" And it's all from Dwayne.
Yeah.
It's like DJ reminds me of me and the fact that I don't know shit about Kim Possible. Yeah, if you haven't seen the Crash series, check it out. It's probably one of our better series at the moment.
Check out our videos, like, comment it and stuff, and share it with your friends and stuff.
Give us a poke if you want.
Yeah, poke us.
Yeah, poke us. Yeah, it's a new feature on YouTube. It's added today. Poke us.
Yeah.
Let's see. Music. Let's go on with the music today. What's going on? A little music segment going on.
Sure.
What you feeling? What you jamming on?
Okay, so for the past little while, I've been jamming. I got some new guys I've been listening to, for the most part. One of the artists being a singer-songwriter from Canada named Mac DeMarco.
Right.
My good friend Justin showed him to me. He's got some very, like, chilled out, melody kind of songs. It's got, like, very twinkly guitars and stuff, but it's really nice. I checked out his album Salad Days, which I think is his most recent release.
Salad Days.
Yeah, Salad Days, but very good if you're into, like, chilled out stuff. If you're into stuff like, I don't know, Sea Lions, if you're into stuff like, I don't know, some old, like, singer-songwriter artists, definitely check it out. And speaking of Sea Lions, which is a band from California, which has kind of done the old school, like, surf rock kind of sound, where it sounds like stuff you would hear in, like, in a 50s beach movie or something like that, Yeah. Yeah, kind of like, but like more chilled out. I'll have to show some to you, but they're going on tour with they're going on tour. They're coming to Chicago, and I was like, oh man, I got to check that out. Me and my friend Justin might be able to go see them.
Nice.
That would be cool. But they're not new artists I've been listening to, but definitely check them out. But I guess because of that, they're opening for a band, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're opening for a band called Part Time. We can put up pictures and stuff of.
Yeah, we can put little pictures of stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But like Part Time is this band they're opening for, and apparently it's just one guy. He has other band members, but he started off just like making this music himself. But it sounds like it's also like another one of those nostalgic bands of like the old '80s like dream pop kind of style, where it's very kind of. It makes me think of like Joy Division, like old Joy Division. Or The Smiths. It kind of makes me think of The Smiths too. The Smiths. Very stuff like that. Once you listen to like one song, you'll be like, all right, I know what this guy's deal is. I know what you're talking about. Very like 80s-y, dude.
I understand. Like Hotline Miami.
Yeah, I think
Kavinsky.
I think that's who I think that's how I mentioned him to you. I was like, this dude sounds like his music should be in Hotline Miami.
Oh, see, subconscious.
Yeah. There you go. But and then I can't remember if I mentioned these guys last time, but I'm still listening to this band called Whir.
Mm-hmm.
Very shoegazy band, but like I used to only listen to like one album. I think it's the album I listened to last time, the album called Pipe Dreams. But I just recently started listening to one of their other albums, which is becoming one of my new favorites. No, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It's good though. Like, I think it's just because like I've been focusing more on the music. But
right. Yeah.
I just can't remember the name of it. I think once I have like a physical copy and stuff, I'll be like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
But it's really good. And like their original album cover, I remember telling to you, was actually a screen cap from the movie Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, is that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do remember that. I remember
that's the one. And then like their first song in the album has like a sound bite of a line from Eyes Wide Shut as well. And it's a really good line because like it goes well with like the like slow like calmness. It's very like beautiful music though, but it's like it goes really well with the song and stuff. It's kind of like Wall of Noise-y, just shoegaze rock. You know, it's very chill. It makes me think of if you like Pity Sex or stuff or something like that. You might like these guys. Check out Whir if you can. But otherwise, that's kind of what I've been jamming to recently. Just those three guys, like off and on. Part Time, Mac DeMarco, and still Whir. I'm always listening to other music, but like these are the three main guys when I like sit down at school and I'm working. These are what I've been listening to.
Yeah, that new.
Yeah,
the new. That new. But let's see.
What about you?
I've been listening to mainly two artists. Well, technically three.
Yeah.
I've been listening to. I went off a recommendation from a friend, and they told me to check out Streetlight Manifesto.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
They are just like I love this band right now.
Really?
Yeah, they're like a ska band, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's like very like upbeat, and, like horns and like guitars.
Like the da 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 da.
Yeah, yeah, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's how I got to it because like I was like, oh yeah, I love me some ska, some Real Big Fish, but I didn't know any other ska bands. And
right.
Like my friend was like, oh yeah, check out such and such Streetlight Manifesto, and then I did, and then I was like, this is amazing. Songs recommended by them will probably be like Toe to Toe is very good, and The Hand That Thieves is, I think that's the name of the album as well.
Okay.
But another thing I've been kind of listening to at the moment is I told you I was really into Ruby. I finished that up in like the same weekend. I believe.
Rooster Teeth show. Right?
Yeah, Rooster Teeth's Ruby, produced by Monty and written by Miles and Carrie, I think.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of other people. The whole like gang, Rooster Teeth gang, works on that show pretty much.
Yeah. At
least that division. But I've been listening to the soundtrack for that, and the soundtrack for that show is absolutely amazing.
It's great.
I'm trying to look up the names of the artists right now, but the whole thing is sung by a singer, right? A female singer, and she's only like 15 years old.
Yeah,
and she's
I heard about that.
Yeah, she's making all these like ballads and like, it's like her voice is so amazing in the songs. Like I think my favorite one would be like Wings is like a nice like kind of like a sadder song, but it makes me feel like really energized at the same time.
Yeah.
And I May Fall, and she also has her brother in there with some of her songs.
Cool.
With her, which is really good. And they are not written, but like musically written by Jeff something right now. I'll put in the description the names of the people. I can't think of them at the moment.
Sure.
But it's written by Jeff something from Rooster Teeth, and he's like his guitar solos are just amazing. It's like good. And the only thing I've noticed that is kind of common with this music is that like the song will be like it's falling, it's falling, it's falling, and it'll be like complete silence, right? Not complete silence, but like really like quiet.
Yeah.
And then like it'll come back. It's like, oh shit, I thought it was over because it sounds like it's over, right?
Yeah.
And it comes back it's like bam in the face, like oh no, like, why my face hole is hurting.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so good. I've been like my workout mix. It's that Ruby soundtrack and like Streetlight Manifesto and like a few other things in there.
Yeah.
I've also been jamming on the new Candler Road by Childish Gambino again.
Okay.
That's
I'd love to hear that.
yeah, it's a new single he just put out like a few days ago, and it is really good. It kind of started off in the style that I'm not too fond of, where it's kind of like the world star, like, yo, I'm a rapper, look at all my money, cash money flow everywhere, spreading it around, you know?
Right.
Like that kind of like boasty, braggy kind of style. But then like it switches over like mid-song into like the complete like song, like style I'm into, which is like really like slow and like wordplay and like singy, songy, which is nice. But yeah, I've been listening to that a lot. What else? There's like another song I was listening to. No, I think that's it. He had another song out. I think that's what I'm thinking of. It came out yesterday.
Cool.
Can't remember the name of it. It was like a freestyle, but that was tight as well. It's on SoundCloud right now. Just look up new Childish Gambino song. It's probably there.
I gotta check it out.
Let's see. I guess to close out, I was looking at some news from Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the last story here.
Yeah.
With the 2.5 remix and the final mix thing that's coming out.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're adding a whole bunch of new stuff.
Really?
Into this, yeah.
Like
Boss battles. They're adding like whole boss battles, new armor, keyblades. Just they're like I heard like the whole final mix thing is like they're tweaking things and like adding like little things. Like from what I've noticed, I have like the 1.5 remix.
Yeah.
And I haven't noticed anything significant like new items or stuff like that or like entire boss fights.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it looks like.
I think I remember peeking over at the video we were watching and seeing some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's like story driven. It looks like story driven boss fights.
Cool.
That could be going on right now, and it looks like I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
That's like 2 is like my favorite game of the Kingdom Hearts game. Like that's like my favorite.
That was awesome.
It's like the perfect amount of like entertainment and like difficulty.
Right.
Where it's like it's not too hard like the first one was, but it's also not too like easy. It makes you feel powerful. I like that. It's really good.
What are the games that are going to be on? Because the 1.5 had what? Doesn't that have Chain of Memories on it?
Yeah, it has. Chain of Memories like the PS2 version.
Yeah.
And they have all the cutscenes from 358 over 4 days.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Is 2.5 getting something like that?
Yeah, it's got the same deal. It's gonna have 2 on there. Birth by Sleep.
Yeah. And
it has the cutscenes for another
that's right.
game.
It's gonna have Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, it's gonna have Birth by Sleep, the whole revamp.
That's one I gotta play. Everybody.
That's good.
Especially my friends back home, they used to always tell me to play it. Like, and I always wish, like, oh, if only I had kept my PSP and played it.
It was definitely one of the better games of the PSP.
That's what I hear. It was great.
I have a horror story of that game. I got into like the final boss, right? Like one of the final forms of the boss, and it took me weeks to beat this, right? I was like, I just turn it off because like the PSP, you turn it on, turn it off, it kind of like pauses the game, and you don't have to sign back in and all that jazz.
Right.
So like I would like just turn it on, turn it off. I'm going in. I'm gonna beat this guy eventually. Like for 2 weeks, and I'm like, I finally did it. Instead of play practice, like I finally did it. I was like, guys, look, I did it. And then my friend's like, it's like, let me see that for a second. And he looked at it, and he just fucking turned off the game, and just like quit out before I saved it. And I swear to God, I don't think I've ever had hate in my heart towards something more than one person in that moment. Yeah, I was so mad. It's like, this is ridiculous.
That's shitty, dude.
Oh, it was so lame.
Did you do it, like, intentionally?
Yeah, fuck it. I was like, why? Why would you do that? And he was like, I don't know. I was like, okay.
What an asshole.
Yeah, that was not a cool thing for him to do. But I can't wait to see that game on the big screen, though.
Yeah.
Like, it was very, like, the only thing that held it back was, like, the pixely, and I don't, like, really like the control for the PSP.
Yeah.
But, yeah, with the PSP controller in my hand, I am going to be all about that game.
Yeah, dude. I'm just excited because like apparently there's a big chunk of story in there.
Oh yeah.
I definitely would like to see it. I definitely like seeing more of the Kingdom Hearts story, which is why it pains me that I cannot beat Chain of Memories.
Oh yeah, that's the most important one.
I know, right?
Like that's where all the shit goes down.
They fucking made it for the Game Boy, but like I have it for the I have the PS2 version, and I just got like to one of the multiple times that you fight the replica Riku.
Oh yeah.
But he just gets harder and harder each time, and at a point where like even like I've gotten like the whole strategy down. Where like, all right, if I play these cards, if I do these cards the right way, I still keep these cards so I can keep healing myself.
Yeah.
And I still have at least one card that I can fight with. But even then, with like my strategic thing that I'm doing, like it's too hard. He's too like all over the place. His hits have too much power, but I don't know.
Hashtag Riku OP.
It is. It's pretty OP.
I remember as a kid being like, with the Game Boy version, I was like, shit, man.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah, it's fucking. It sucks. I mean, there are people that beat it, so maybe I'm just a fool.
It feels like Riku battles are always the hardest battles in every game. Like in the first game, where you're in Hollow Bastion or like Broken Down Hollow Bastion.
I remember that one being hard.
I didn't beat that. That was the Riku, that boss fight. That was the one that turned me off for like another full year of playing that game. I was like, fuck it. I'm not doing it. Because like not only did you have to start the boss battle again, but you had to watch the 5-minute cutscene every stinking time.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you serious? This is ridiculous.
I think I remember telling you like the last form of Ansem. Or not even like the last form.
The second to last form.
But like when you're fighting him on the island, like it's just how he regularly looks. I couldn't beat that for like the longest fucking time, and I eventually was like, "Fuck it, whatever." The second game's coming out. I'll go play that. I'll play the second game.
I had my fill. I did enough.
Yeah, fine, and then whatever. Whatever, and then I went out. I was like, okay. I turned it off for a bit. I'm like, all right, second game's coming out. I'll play it, whatever, and I'll go back and beat it. And I actually ended up beating the second game before I beat the first one.
That's exactly how it went for me. Like I didn't even get halfway through the first one before I beat the second game.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous because like the second game, like it felt like more like. It gave you that sense of power, but not in like the progressional sense where the first one did.
Yeah.
Where it starts you off as like you're doing like all these crazy flips and shit. Like there's like these like big action set pieces, which is probably why I like it the most.
Yeah.
Because like it's the most entertaining to me. It has like the best story in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and
except for the first 7 days. Fuck that shit.
That was you mean with Riku? Or you mean with Roxas?
Yeah.
Really?
I did that every time.
Every
time I want to start the game over, I gotta do like 5 hours of gameplay just to get to the main story. Like, I enjoyed it the first time. I enjoy the story. I like Roxas as a character. But I want to play as Sora and beat asses in Disney worlds.
Well, yeah, that's funny. Cause I was about to say, because, like, the first, like, part with Roxas is actually one of my favorite parts in, like, any game ever.
Oh, really?
Mainly, well, some of the gameplay is alright, but just, like, the progression and story of that part.
Yeah,
and just how kind of, like, tragic it becomes, you know? How he finds out, like, these guys aren't his friends. They were replicated for... to trick him and stuff. Like, his whole life is a lie.
Yeah, the whole bit with Axel.
Yeah.
It's like, don't you remember me?
Yeah, and then that whole epic scene at the end where it just eventually leads up to him finding us out and going confronting the guy that was making all the projections and stuff. I just love it.
I love super angsty Jesse McCarthy.
I just love that whole part.
It is.
Yeah,
good.
some of the gameplay can get pretty like dull, but I just push through it. Like, all right, it's okay because we're gonna be getting to this next part in the story progression, and it'll be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember when I first got Kingdom Hearts 2, I got, like, the guide with it. And, like, I played through the first time. I was enjoying it. Yeah. I was like, alright, cool. 5th day, that's a school week. I guess we're about to get into the game. Alright, another day. Yeah. Alright, 7th day. Okay, I gotta get a job. I gotta get money. I gotta da-da-da. Yeah. It was fun, though. That's definitely the best game in the series, in my opinion. Right under, like, it would probably be, like, 2, 1, and Birth by Sleep for me.
Right.
Like, in, ranking of enjoyability.
Sure.
But yeah, it's gonna have like a whole bunch of stuff in it, the remix.
Yeah, I think I go 2, 1, and then I haven't played too many of the others, so I guess I can't really say much.
Yeah, there's a lot of them now.
Yeah.
They're like on all consoles.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing that always made me mad. It's like, alright, so I gotta own like every console, every handheld console just to be able to get the whole story. That's
seriously.
Cool.
Like, I didn't play Dream Job Distance. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 3DS now. I could play it. But yeah, at the time I didn't. I was like, whatever, fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess, with the ending of that, we're going to wrap up on the second episode of XP's podcast.
Cool.
And if you like this, Give us a little like in the comments, or not in the comments, but down there. Leave a little comment, say, hey, DJ knows a lot about Kim Possible. Hashtag it. Let's make it a thing on Twitter.
Or let's say, no, DJ doesn't know anything about Kim Possible. I might even say he doesn't know shit about Kim Possible.
I think I.
You have any last words to say?
Kim Possible is a great show, and I really enjoy it. Also, like, subscribe, comment. It's a good thing to do. And if you're listening to the first time, welcome. Hopefully you made it this far. And if you didn't, you suck. But don't tell those guys. Don't tell them that I said that. That's my last words.
Alright, that was really lame. But here, for my last words,
fuck ever.
I got a poem I've written. Right, just for you guys. Okay, here it goes. The spaghetti is rising. Don't believe me? Check your bowl.
Mic drop. Okay, alright, yeah. Excellent. Right. That's the end of the XP Squad podcast.
See you guys.
See you next week.